Hi, I'm Heyzeus, and this is Spare Change Trade Ups number 3. I've got 5 more trade ups you can try, all for under $5. Well, except for the one trade up that's over that, but the rest of them are all under $5. Two things before we get started though. First of all the prices shown here are prices using buy orders on the Steam market. This doesn't mean that you can't buy skins off OP skins or trading sites and also make a profit. In fact, often it's even more profitable to do that. I just prefer to use Steam market prices as the baseline. Secondly, any prices I show from outputs from the contract are what you'll get after Steam tax when you sell them. So I'm going to show you the net profit you end up with, the amount that goes into your pocket. Well, not your pocket, your Steam wallet. But anyway, let's get started. The first trade up uses field-tested StatTrak mil-spec skins from the glove case. They cost about 30 cents each on the Steam market with buy orders, and you'll need an average float of less than 0.214. All up, it should cost about $3. In terms of what you can get, your average profit will be a bit less than $1. Most of the profit is in the USPS Cyrex, and aside from the flashback, everything else is a small loss. Now, if you're starting from an extremely small Steam wallet balance, like say $10, I wouldn't recommend this trade up, simply because it's too high risk. However, if you have a balance more like $30 or $40, this is quite a good trade up because you can just spam it. There's lots of these skins around, they're very easy to buy, they often come in the right float, so you can just do heaps of them, and that evens out the risk. The second trade up is a Spectrum 2 case trade up using field tested restricted skins. Of these you can use the Ziggy, the Phantom or the Goo, that sounds kind of weird to read out, but anyway. They're about 35 cents each with a buy order on the Steam market, so it'll be $3.50 all up. Additionally, you'll need to keep the average float below 0.179, which isn't as hard as it sounds. These skins often come in the right float for just this in the field tested condition, but do keep that in mind. In terms of what you can get, you'll make money on the leaded glass and the llama cannon. You'll lose money on the high roller. Unfortunately, because of the way this trade up works, the high roller comes out field tested. That's why you lose money on it, but still, overall the amount you lose is pretty minimal, and the returns on the two skins where you do win far outweigh it, so in general it's a pretty good trade up, pretty good returns for the amount you invest. I'd recommend it to everybody. Next up, we're doing a mil-spec StatTrak trade up for the Gamma collection. The average float for this one is 0.106, which is sort of a weird intermediate float to be aiming for. It's mainly so you can get 3 of the 5 outputs as factory new, which is where the profit in this trade up comes from. I'd recommend going for a combination of 8 minimal wear harvesters, which are 34 cents on the Steam market with buy orders, and 2 factory new exos, which are 80 cents on the Steam market with a buy order. You can use all minimal wear skins if you want, you'll get a better return, but in my experience, including a couple of factory new skins makes it a lot easier to get the right float, so that's the way I personally recommend, and at this point it's still profitable. So total cost all up with this combination is $4.30. The profit in this trade up is mostly in the AWP Phobos. You'll make small profits on the Chopper and the Aristocrat as well. You'll lose a bit on the Reboot and the Limelight. They're the minimal wear skins, that's where the losses are. I wouldn't recommend this trade up unless you've got a little bit of a buffer to work with. It's a bit like the glove case trade up earlier, although not quite as bad. But I mean, just be aware when you're doing it that you're going to have runs of bad luck where you lose money. Keep doing it, in the long run you'll do quite well. For our fourth trade up, I've brought up something that I did in a video a while back. I thought I'd put it in a place where it's going to be a lot easier for people to find. For this trade up you'll need 5 minimal wear tuxedos from the Bank collection, about 22 cents each with a buy order on the Steam market, and 5 field tested 5.7 nitros from the Chop Shop collection, which are about 55 cents each on the Steam market with a buy order. The average float needs to be less than 0.15, so the amount the 5.7s are over 0.15 needs to be balanced out by the amount that the minimal wear skins are under 0.15, and the total cost should come to about $3.85. This particular trade up is exploiting a quirk in the way trade up contracts work, so even though the skins are split 50-50 between Chop Shop and the Bank collection, in terms of what you can get, there's a 2/3 chance of getting a Chop Shop skin and only a 1/3 chance of getting a Bank skin, which is good because the Chop Shop skins are where you make a profit. I'm not going to explain the reason why that is in this video. I talk about it in others, but it'd take too long here, so just take my word for it. In terms of the raw numbers, you'll be making about $3 profit each on either of the Chop Shop skins, that's the Bulldozer and the Duelist, and you'll lose about $2 on the Emerald Pinstripe, which is the bank skin. Obviously, there's an equal chance of getting any of these skins, so your average profit is going to be about $1.30 for each trade up. Finally, we have a trade up using Spectrum Case skins. I'm breaking my rules a little bit here because this trade up costs more than $5, but I thought it's a fairly good one to include anyway, although it does come with a few caveats which I will outline. Basically, you'll need 10 field tested restricted Spectrum skins. You can use all 5 of them, even the scaffold which I've left off the slide for whatever reason. With the buy order, these skins should cost around 62 cents each, which means $6.20 all up. It's often possible to get this even lower, but I decided to be conservative with the price. The average float needs to be below 0.176. Now, this might sound difficult to do with just field tested skins, but in practice it isn't too bad with these particular inputs. They often tend to be around the lower end of the field tested range. In terms of the skins you get from this, you'll make about $2.50 on the Fever Dream, you'll lose about $1.70 on the Xianglu, and you'll make about 50 cents on the Decimator. Now, if you're looking at these and thinking those margins sound pretty shitty, yes, you're right, they are pretty shitty on the Steam market, which is why I recommend you do this trade up using skins you buy off OP skins or trading sites. The margin is significantly better on those platforms. If you are going to use the Steam market to buy these anyway, just a warning, I do quite a lot of these on the Steam market, and I've got tons of inputs for this trade up listed on the Steam market that don't have floats that you can use for this trade up contract. So if you're buying these skins off the Steam market and you see my avatar next to a skin that's listed, please don't buy, you won't be able to use it, and I don't want to seem as if I'm getting people to buy my unusable skins off the Steam market. Oh, and one final note, if you have 10 Xianglus left over from doing this trade up, you can put them into a trade up contract and you're guaranteed to get a factory new covert skin from the Spectrum collection, and those will generally sell for slightly more than the 10 Xianglus on their own would, so that's a way to recoup a little bit of your loss. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I'll be back soon with another video on 100 Thieves and Tyloo. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus, thanks for watching, see ya.